So it's very good to be back with my pal, Mario Cantone.
Oh, it is so good to be back with my pal, my old chum, my buddy, my brah.
Your brah.
My brah.
Yeah. So we've done creepy cinema like
3 years?
3 years, right? And we had this other idea because we like working together. And you know that I have this interest in the years 1967 and 1976, in particular, like the symmetry of the 67, 76.
I like that too.
And all these sort of dark movies is
it was the greatest decade for movies.
Greatest decade. And we thought, let's do that. Then we sort of started working on programming and you took it over.
Of course I did, because I'm a control freak. Right. And I'm only here, a few times a year. And I got on the phone with you and I was like, look, we're supposed to do this together, but let me pick it. You can have a few. Right. And you gave me a few. And
I was like, we're going to do like 3 Days of the Condor. And we're going to do the French Connection.
No.
And then you took over and it's like, no, we're opening with New York, New York.
Absolutely. New York is one of the top 5 films in my book. I love this movie so much. It's Martin Scorsese, 1977. It is a glorious motion picture. And when it first came out, it didn't get very good reviews. And they were all in turmoil at the time. Scorsese and Liza, and they were all partying a little bit too much. I'm not telling tales out of school because it's all been written about.
Well, this was Hollywood in the mid to late 70s.
Absolutely.
This is not news.
And every time Martin Scorsese talks about this film, it's almost like he's embarrassed about it. And he tries to explain what he was doing. Like, you'll see the sets by Boris Levin, which are gorgeous. They're all fake. They look like an MGM movie. Yeah. And he juxtaposes this kind of dark romance in front of it.
And dark romance between Robert De Niro and Liza
Minnelli.
She's a singer, he's a saxophone player.
That's right. She's Francine Evans. She's terrific in this. So, and I spoke to her about this film one time, and she said to me, well, weren't you disappointed? And I said, no. It's one of my favorite movies in the whole world. Oh, there's so much improvising. And that was the thing. He supposedly couldn't keep track of the improvisation.
He being Scorsese?
Scorsese. There's a lot of improv. And you can see it, but it's very organic. And I think Miss Minnelli, and this is blasphemous to say, is even better in this than she is in Cabaret, because I think that character is kind of more like her in Cabaret. In this, she kind of plays a down-to-earth kind of...
She's super grounded.
And Robert De Niro, it is his most glamorous movie. He's beautiful. He is hilarious and dares to be incredibly unlikable, as Betty Davis would say, dare to be hated, which he is in this.
So they meet. It's a set post-war. He's served. There's a big party. I think it's set just after VJ Day.
It's VJ Day, yeah.
Right. The Japanese have surrendered. And he tries to meet her. He's taken with her. And there is not a meet cute scene. First of all, it's like 8 minutes of her rejecting him. And he keeps coming back.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she says no in one little, like in 30 seconds, like, no.
Yeah, no. And he's like, no?
Yeah.
She's like, no. 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 And it's in the Rainbow Room. It's a set of the Rainbow Room with Tommy Dorsey's orchestra. The choice of the music, and you know the story, the song New York, New York. This was told to me by Fred Ebb himself. He was one of my closest friends in the last 7 years of his life. He told me that Robert De Niro came to them when they first wrote the song New York, New York. And it was a completely different song. And De Niro did not think the song was strong enough, wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
So they rewrote it. And this was the one you got. Start spreading the news. You got that. You got that. And it's not really a musical.
No, it's not a musical in that sense. Most of the musical numbers are done as we're seeing somebody audition or in a performance.
It's a performance. Yeah. This was cut kind of right before it was released because they thought it was too long and it wasn't getting good pre-press.
It's like 2 hours and 40 minutes, but a big like $300,000 12-minute scene was
gone.
excised.
And that was Larry Kurt, who plays the lead in that, who was the original Tony in West Side Story on Broadway. That happy ending sequence was cut and is a great segment. But I'll tell you, in 1981, they re-released this movie again, and they put back that and a couple of other scenes that were edited, and it actually got much better reviews than it did originally. And this is the version you're going to see. Forget it. My head blows up. And it's gorgeous looking. And I really believe that relationship. I really believe that love and the destruction, all of it. You'll see.
Well, that's
the decline of the big band era.
So that's what we're going to argue about after the movie.
I know, and I'm going to win.
You're not going to win.
Oh, I'm going to win.
You're going to talk more, but you're not going to win.
No, I'm going to win.
Yeah, well, we'll see. All right, let's watch it. We'll be back afterwards. Here it is from 1977, Liza Minnelli and Robert De Niro with Clarence Clemens.
Of course.
In Martin Scorsese's New York, New York.
It's terrific.
Back with Mario Cantone to discuss New York, New York. She says she's going to go with him. She's going to meet him for the Chinese food, but you know she's not because the kiss missed.
Yes, right? And she's learned her lesson.
Right,
she knows he hasn't changed.
But that moment where he leans in to kiss and she turns away is a sign.
It's a sign.
Like that chemistry's gone. The little give and take is busted.
And, you know, and he sees his son at the end too, and you know he doesn't see him that much. It's very heartbreaking. It's a beautiful ending.
And the son, who I think is Irwin Winkler's son, played that role. Irwin Winkler,
and his wife is in it too.
That's right. Yeah, like the son is trying to still be a good boy for his father, even though his dad is the worst father that you can be.
But look,
so let's get into that part.
All right, because come on.
My problem with New York, New York, I don't have any issue with how it looks. I think it's wonderful. I think it has this propulsive energy. I think Liza is amazing. I never believe that she would have fallen that deeply in love with him. I get being charmed with him, but we never saw enough of the actual charm. He was such a jerk to anybody. I don't know why this guy has friends, let alone a wife like Liza.
You're
like
wrong.
Francine.
I love you, but you're wrong. Mm-hmm. He was a brilliant artist in this, a great musician. He's gorgeous. He is an ass. He's a ridiculous person. He's volatile, and it gets worse and worse. But at first, that charm he has, and you're not attracted to men. Women and men can deeply fall for something like that.
I got you.
And it's destructive and it's not good, but I believe that she fell in love with him and I believe he loved her, but he was a volatile man.
It's going to be hard for you to believe, but I've seen movies before. And
I've seen life before.
I know people can fall for that, but you have to be exposed to the part that is truly charming. Right? Not just that he's sort of relentless in coming on to her, which she sort of fell for. And of course, he's beautiful. She liked him. She's drawn to him. Of course, I buy all that. At some point, we needed a couple of moments to have us rooting for him, to have us wanting to believe that it could work.
Once you're in the relationship and once you're in the marriage too, and once you're committed, back then, you're in it, you do your best to be in it for the long haul. And I believe that's what she did. And I also believe she was in love with him. Look, he was an insane personality. He was volatile. The thing about De Niro in this too, and I've always said this, he plays jealousy. With several different shades of colors. He's unbelievable. Don't you ever start the band off. You hear me?
Yeah.
You hear me? I start the band. I kick off the band. That whole thing.
Right. And that's another moment where he's reprehensible.
But then there's the moment where he gets on his knees and he looks in her eyes and he says, will you marry me? Will you marry me? I don't want you to be with anybody else. I want to be with you. That moment is everything to me. That's when I go, oh, okay.
I think that one of the reasons why it's a wonderful, brilliant, but less well thought of Martin Scorsese movie, maybe one of the 2 or 3 greatest directors to ever live, is because De Niro, who plays the part brilliantly, but what isn't written in there is enough three-dimensionality.
But he's such an incredible actor that there is plenty of three-dimensionality, I think. Let me just say to Martin Scorsese, if he's watching, do not be embarrassed about this movie.
No.
Because it's one of the great movies of all time. It gave me such pleasure as a child. Diane Abbott singing Honeysuckle Rose in the club up in Harlem, and the fact that he played up in Harlem with Clarence Clemens and that whole bit. That's just, there's so much vibrance to this movie, and it's very heartfelt. What about Mary Kay Place?
Mary Kay Place was wonderful.
She is so brilliant.
Okay, let me get one Clarence Clemens, Bruce Springsteen story. So Clemens wrote about it, that De Niro told him during New York, New York, that De Niro, as Travis Bickle in Taxi Driver, did the "You Talking to Me" because he'd seen Bruce Springsteen do it on stage. Just that line, "You talking to me," back and forth with the audience.
So he saw Bruce Springsteen do it on stage first, and then he improv'd it.
He brought it in and did it with Travis Bickle in Taxi Driver, that's totally plausible. That
of
makes
course.
sense.
Well, you hope that's true because your first Broadway show was a Bruce Springsteen concert, which is a hell of an idea to educate someone in the showing of their first Broadway show.
I got it. I haven't gone to enough Broadway shows.
Yes, I know.
I'm sorry.
I know.
I love you even when we argue.
I love you even when we argue too. This is great. You know, we have great discussions. Even off camera, we have many great discussions.
We're staying in 1977 for the next film that you've programmed tonight.
This was a big year for me, 77, as a child of the 70s.
So stick around, because coming up next, Richard Brooks directs Diane Keaton in Looking for Mr. Goodbar.
Ooh.
Next on TCM. looking for Mr. Goodbar, then the out-of-towners, and later, what's up, Doc? TCM's got questions tonight.